Good.
Okay, we are live.
Okay, this is the Economic Development and Airport Committee meeting, January 17th, 7 p.m. And roll call.
Dr. Fellner?
Here.
Mr. Richard?
Here.
Ms. Frank?
Here. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes from the last meeting?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from the November 15th regular meeting.
And I'll second that.
Okay, motion approved. All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
And I'll second that.
Okay, agenda is approved. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so let's move on to the discussion items. The first thing I have is Economic Development 2023 goals. And I know one thing is we need to talk about if there's going to be another entity that is going to collect the room tax that Experience Galleon had done, and how we're going, or what to do with the room tax, that room tax money.
It has to be a CDB, so it's sort of
Convention.
A C what?
Yeah.
CDB.
CB, corporation?
no, Convention and Visitors.
Convention.
Convention and Visitor, okay,
Bureau.
I see what you're saying, Convention and Visitors Bureau, okay.
So, I'm sorry, the administration and council and the city government really has no function in developing that. Are you talking about like Galleon Betterment that was collecting the room tax?
Yes,
Before? So that's a nonprofit, and it has to be initiated by someone in the community. We don't initiate that organization. What happens to the funds is that they're collected and they are kept in a fund until there is an entity to which we distribute half of them. So they're not spent, they're not put into the general fund. They're kept there until an entity comes forth. So,
and that's why I brought it up, because whoever's listening, we are hoping to possibly an entity come forth that would like to maybe take that over or work on it.
okay, I see what you're
That
saying.
was what my point was, is I understand that, you know, if there's any way, you know, now, you know, it's live, so people know that we're looking for somebody to hopefully help with this nonprofit.
I see.
Julie, you had a point.
No, I just said oops because I forgot to put it. Somebody told me there was no picture, so I
Oh, I'm
just
sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I had the cell phone, no picture.
Yeah, I and just
So
like Dr.
somebody
Feller.
was listening.
Yeah.
If you're not viewing.
Well, just like Dr. Feller said, it's if there's any organizations out there that are interested in it and they are watching tonight or it gets the word passed around, the best thing would be for them to contact the mayor's office and they will subsequently do the process, so to speak, to verify their availability.
Mr. Palmer would be a good resource
Yeah.
as well.
Mhm.
In fact, I think that probably could provide more of the nuts and bolts on how to, not that the mayor can't, but, you know, Thomas is the one that's going to have to draw up the agreement and put it forth, so, you know.
This is true.
They
Let
would-
me ask you, Nikki, would that or any organization have to file anything with you first before that, or is that, like Tom said, going to Mr. Palmer?
I don't remember what the first steps were. I know they signed an agreement with the city, but I don't remember what the first step was.
Okay, I didn't know if there was any set, so, yeah, that would be, yeah, good.
Well, part of the first step was Thomas and it helped develop that galleon, that he helped develop that, in his role before he was law director. So, and then he turned it over, he couldn't be involved anymore. So, he started that, so.
Okay.
So he was involved. He knows exactly how all that works, so.
Okay, so we can hopefully,
Well, I think we need to
Something
keep
more.
beating that drum,
mhm.
that the organization needs to step forward. It's necessary, there's funds available,
Mhm.
if you have an interest in the community and the Visitors Bureau or the city, here's an opportunity to serve in a way. And Mr. Palmer could help with the nonprofit application and make the organization happen.
Okay, so is it appropriate for us to converse with business owners about it, or do we, how do people know that our
Sure,
listening?
I think it's, it's not like, having a conversation with potential entities, I think is certainly within our responsibility. We just, we have to help them organize it.
Okay, that sounds great.
Sure.
Sounds like a good goal. Does anybody have anything else that they,
Well,
Like to
I was
look at.
going to, last year you were, brought up the idea of Adora, and we had the chamber, Miranda, come in and give us a skeleton outline of that. And I think that if that's something that you'd like to pursue, I would continue along those lines. It's
Okay.
early in the season. Last year, it was late in the game, and there was no way that was going to happen. But now it's early in the season, so, maybe something going by midsummer might be but I think there's a fair number of steps that need to be taking place. So, I
I agree.
have no problem with
I think I'd be,
trying to pursue that.
and I agree. I know there's a lot of businesses that would like it. The problem is I do need help. And I know that the chambers, at this point, I think through an email, their position is that, I'm not sure at what capacity they can help. I can reach out to Bucyrus and see if maybe some of those people, can help.
Okay.
So,
Miranda seemed to be willing last year.
there was an email, and
Okay.
so I don't know, why or anything. Maybe we should have a meeting with the chamber and the mayor and,
Just remember, with the Dora, all roads, all that has to go through the mayor's office. It can't happen if the mayor's office isn't on board, so.
yeah, so that's the other
To
thing.
make
is
sure,
If he,
yeah.
he encouraged me to keep going with it, so,
Okay.
I
Well, let's see
can,
what,
okay,
it's early, like I said, early in the year, and, we can at least take a full effort at it,
okay.
whether it's to be or not is, I think we have to give it an honest effort.
Okay.
I don't have anything specific. I guess I'd like to, find out from Port Authority and that entity where we are with there were several projects that were sort of in the pipeline back in 19. And then, of course, the world drove off a cliff, and, you know, I think that we're kind of recovering from COVID as an excuse for poor service or whatever, you know, just in everything. But I don't know where they stand, and I think that's our number one economic development source. So maybe for next meeting, a Port Authority representative, you know, would be to bring us updated. And you know, just to see where, you know, how are we doing on the Wrenchville, you know, proposed, project. Thank you. You know, is Carter Crossing going to break ground on new, you know, again, that was a full steam ahead back in 19, and boom, you know, units went up, and then material supplies were astronomical, and for whatever reason, you know, supply chains, you know, I'm trying to, I haven't heard those words used in a long time, so I don't know if they're, anyway, I think the Port Authority would give us you know, it'd be good to get us an update.
Okay.
It's early in the year, nobody's breaking ground on frozen dirt, but they're going to, you know. Springtime's right around the corner. That's what I've been telling all my patients this week, it's right around the corner. You know, but they're ready, you know, so I think that would be appropriate for next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll second that, because that's exactly what I was saying to Doc, is I think the Port Authority will give us a full scope of what they've got in the works, as well as what their thoughts are for any future plans.
So, and the only thing I know that I've seen is the big industrial building.
A grant?
No, down there on the main road, 598.
It's quarter break from 598.
Brand
Right.
598.
So, and that one, and there's a sign, you know, a space or whatever for lease, so I was just kind of wondering how that was going and if they were able to, and who would know.
Have you heard anything?
You know which large building?
Not if it's been leased out, no,
Okay,
Okay,
I haven't.
how about the status of construction, is it finished?
No, I don't
Okay.
think it's finished.
All right,
The frame is up.
all right.
Yeah, I think it's an outfit that builds them, and then if you build it, they will come.
that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
one of
think
those spec, which we've talked about. If
Yeah,
you
and
build
I think the mayor may have mentioned, you know, in a perfect world, you know, the space, you know, might have a customer before the construction completion, but, you know, I don't know that that's the case or will be the case. So, you know, that's something to keep an eye on as well. I think the Port Authority ties into item B, right? I
Right.
mean, it is from my standpoint on council, the freeze center is frozen.
Well, and then
You
the
know,
reason
because there's been a reluctance to use the freeze dollars. I think again in 19 it had some steam and some momentum, but then you know, the past, especially 21, the returns weren't as good. The pot of gold that they have is, you know, and there was a reluctance on the part of council to go ahead with that. So in the meantime, and I hate saying this, but I was a big proponent in favor of it. But as time goes on and nothing gets done, the cost of construction is going to go to where we're either gonna spend the original amount of money and have something that's the size of a postage stamp, or the proposed, the original proposal gets built for, many times what was designed for that. So, I mean, again, the Port Authority can give us a little bit. Also, who's our county economic developer, new?
David Zach?
Yes, I think David
And I have a
Zach.
meeting with them on February 1st.
Okay.
So they
I
reached out
think-
to me and.
Yes, I got an
scheduled.
email as
Oh, good.
well.
Okay, good.
But I think David, our next committee meeting would be a good resource to let us know, again, it's early in the year, what's going on. We've had, within the city, we know this last year, and especially late last year, we've had the budget and those constraints and, what's going on, but, in getting emails from Eunice, I think things are, being chipped away so that, I think soon we'll be not having to spend so much time and effort on the past, and we can get moving. Again, it's early in the year, that's good. Let's hit the ground running with, but again, we need outside resources, because I am not smart enough to come up with ideas for who to, come in for a manufacturer.
Right.
I just don't have that.
And I agree as well. I mean, I'm new to the city council and to this committee. I think one of the reasons is I feel like if we're not moving forward with the Freeze Center, then even if it's just a discussion about what to do, with some of those funds. On Sunday, I went to the Gill House to the Freeze presentation.
Yeah.
And it was fascinating.
Good.
They did a great job, and I have a better understanding of the Freeze family, what they did, what they, wanted, and that's why I went, is I kind of need to, it just helps me understand. And I mean, I feel like with the funds that are there, we need to at least talk about planning something. I mean, I know there's scholarships, the Freeze does, and there's a lot of things, but I think there's enough to think of something. I've looked at all of the website of the plan of the Freeze Center. I thought it was beautiful, everything. I think my understanding is some people were like, just what different sports stuff they wanted and how it was going to help the community. I actually think a place like that may be, successful. Is there 3,500 members of the Y? And the Y is, is crowded. Maybe there is an overflow, but I don't know what type, and maybe that's the discussion
Right.
somehow. And that's why, because I see progress in this county and Richland County and things within a 20 to 30 mile radius. So I actually think, something like this might be good. We just drove to St. Louis and I actually saw a few of these type of facilities, and I thought maybe that's kind of the new thing, and we need to look at what the young people want. But I wouldn't know where else to go with that, because if all the work that was done with the Freeze Center, if you look at it, it was very well done. Is that could be revised, or is that just not?
But when you're done, I just wanna let you know about you guys talking about the Port Authority, I do see an announcement on the Guardian Inquirer Facebook page that they do have a, special meeting scheduled for tomorrow at 4 p.m. at the chamber office, so.
Oh, okay. I wonder.
Yeah, and it's for the purpose of appointing a director to the board concerning the sale of real estate, so they may go into executive session and then conducting general business of the board, so.
Well, that would be good.
There will be, I know there will at least probably be an executive session in there for the real estate part, but.
Okay.
Let you guys
I'll
know
try
what's happening, so.
to make it, would probably be very informative.
Mhm.
Any thoughts, Mike, on
Pretty
the
much
trees
clear.
or anything?
Well, pretty much bear feller on that. So I think that, again, going back to the Port Authority as a vehicle, which is why it was kind of developed, is to be a vehicle to facilitate economic and stimulate economic development here in Galion. So, and plus there's some other advantages to it, but that, to me, those are the folks that we should have here as a discussion area
Okay.
to see where we're going.
I will certainly reach out to them then. Okay, the next item we have, was there any more discussion? The next item we have is airport farm lease, ordinance number 2023-8.
Ms. Ward can
Are,
explain that.
okay.
We do this every 3 years.
Okay,
The farmland that surrounds the airport,
Mhm.
we put it out to bid, and the highest bidder gets to farm the land for 3 years. So this is the year.
okay. So,
You know what, I'd like to make, we do this. Again,
every
as
3
Ms.
years,
Ward- Right.
okay.
It's, same person farming it?
This year was the first year, I think, for Garrett and I,
Okay,
so I'm sure, I would expect that he'll bid it again.
What, I can't hear.
Garrett and I is
Okay, good.
the person, willing to farm it and sign the lease, a 3-year agreement. So I'd like to move ordinance 2023-8 on the full council Tuesday.
And I'll second that motion.
Okay. So ordinance number 20. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Does anybody have any other business?
I do not.
I thought that was a good discussion. I hope that
Yes.
people in the community can maybe tell others and reach out and, maybe get some more community members to help with some of these things we discussed and be part of making Galion a great place. Okay. The next meeting will be February 21st, 2023 at 7 p.m. here in the council chambers. And would like to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion to
I will
adjourn.
second that motion.
Okay, meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Aye.
Aye.
Bye.
You always ask.
I'll get it.